Duncan will explain how YMCA Strong Kids provided the necessary resources to create a multi-branch partnership to serve children and the tangible results it produces. Duncan, Fernando, and Stephanie, the microphone is yours. I'd ask you to please come to the podium.
We're going to try not to use these, because otherwise we're going to look like Diana Ross in the screens. You certainly will. Somebody already pointed out I don't have the cough. Again, my name is Duncan Forsyth. I live in Farmington, and currently I have the privilege of being the vice chairman of the incredible Board of Managers of Camp Woodstock. And I'm going to let my esteemed colleagues introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Sherman. I'm from Torrington, Connecticut, and I'm a junior at Torrington High School. I'm 16.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Fernando Enriquez. I go to Hartford
What school?
Martin Luther King in the 7th grade.
Okay. Where do you live?
Hartford Piney Street.
Good man. Good man. Good man. I have known Stephanie since she was 2. And I think you would all probably agree that over the past 14 years, that one of us has aged quite beautifully. I've only known Fernando since Christmas time. But I see in his face just great wonder and excitement when we talk about diverse topics like rock climbing and locomotives and football. Stephanie started Camp Woodstock as a skinny and shy and homesick. You remember homesick?
I was very homesick.
Yeah. Camper when she was a 3rd grader. She is now a valuable member of the Woodstock staff. She helps run our camp store, and this summer she is going to be Woodstock's roving reporter. Every day writing about the wonderful things that are going on at Camp Woodstock and putting them on our website. So tune in this summer for Stephanie's work. As I said, I met Fernando at Christmas time when one of my colleagues at Halloran Sage, the firm that I work at, told me about this very bright, very polite young man. And the more we talked, the more intrigued I became. And so I asked my colleague if I could meet Fernando. And so we arranged a meeting, and Fernando came to visit. And he was everything that was advertised. And the thought was, what a perfect kid to be a beneficiary of our Strong Kids campaign at Camp Woodstock. But I decided it would probably be best to go in baby steps. And so when we met, I asked him if he had ever been to the new Y in the North End. And he said that he hadn't. And I asked him if he would like to go and maybe even climb the rock climbing wall. And for those of you who haven't been to Wilson Gray, they have a very cool rock climbing wall. I have been on the rock climbing wall. Well, his eyes just lit up. And so, with the help of our friend Andrea Allard, we arranged for Fernando and myself and some other folks to go to Wilson Gray, and up he went, up onto the rock climbing wall. And not only was that great, to top it all off, because of where Fernando lives in the North End, and because of a grant that Wilson Gray was able to achieve, Fernando left that day with a full year free membership to Wilson Gray. And this young man has made the most of that membership in the short time that he has been there. In fact, in February, Fernando was Climber of the Month. And the most important part, I think, are the comments from the Wilson Gray staff about this young man. It says, Fernando is always polite and respectful. He is a huge asset to the staff and serves almost as an assistant, helping to belay often. Fernando has a great attitude and a smile that is truly contagious. Woodstock has a long history with the North End. Brother Carl Hardwick is legendary. He brings kids up by the truckload. They'll confirm that. Up to Woodstock. And some of our Strong Kids money has gone to help Carl in creating programs that go on at Camp Woodstock for kids in the North End. And Wilson Gray has provided us with another asset to help kids and to identify kids in the North End who can benefit from all that Camp Woodstock has to offer. And in fact, as a result of that partnership, we have identified 3 kids who will get Strong Kids camperships to Camp Woodstock this summer. And this guy is one of them. Stephanie is a success story in the making. Fernando is a success story waiting to happen. There are a lot of charitable organizations, very worthy, that compete for our time and our attention and our money. And sometimes when we make contributions, they seem to go into a black hole. You know, we have absolutely no clue as to where our money goes. The great thing about the Strong Kids program is that the impact is almost immediate, and the beneficiaries very real. And let me just close by giving you one more example, one more very tangible example of what Strong Kids has meant. And I'm going to read from a letter that the Woodstock staff received last week. It says, Dear Camp Woodstock, I could not mail this registration into you without taking the opportunity to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because of you, my daughter is so excited and cannot stop talking about camp this summer. You are responsible for the hugest smile, and I mean from ear to ear. You have given her something so great to look forward to, and she is so excited. Thank you so very much. I will never forget your kindness during this sad time in our lives. The young girl's name is Beverly. She's 13 years old. The sad time in her life was her father passing away this winter. And so when you all go home tonight, folks, feel good about yourselves. because you make a tremendous impact on the lives of people like Stephanie and Fernando and Beverly and all the other great kids that we support. And so, in closing, we would just like to say to you,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
you're welcome. And on behalf of Beverly and everybody else, thank you.
Duncan, so very well said. And thank you to you and to Fernando and Stephanie, and one more time for them.